I fired 100 rookies in the last 3 years, and it wasn't because it was a bad market. It wasn't because they had bad leaders. It wasn't because their chain was too small. It all came down to these 8 habits. So if you're a rookie in door-to-door sales who doesn't want to fuck it up, this is for you. First habit I'd go into is coachability. A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. When I went into my rookie summer, I was desperate to get around top talent all the time. I even moved companies halfway through my summer so that I can train under better reps. I understood if my manager's a 4 out of 10, I cap out at a 4. If my manager's an 11 out of 10, I have so much more room to grow. The ceiling is so much higher and I can continue to improve. In one of my first blitzes selling detailing out in Las Vegas, we had one guy who was from solar, who was a slinger, 2 years experience, killer in solar. I thought he was going to kill it. He had all the numbers. I had talked with his manager. I had every bit of evidence that he was good at sales. But the problem was, so did he. He came in here thinking he was God's gift to sales. Now, I'm a big believer if you can sell one thing, you can sell anything. Sales is a skill, yes, for sure. But at the same time, it's a different market. And if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to train, if you're not willing to accept that you are not the world's best salesman of all time and that there are things to learn, you will not perform well. He lasted 2 weeks and we sent him home. We had another guy come in, 3-year pest vet, wasn't putting up crazy numbers, but he was pretty solid. And anytime we gave him any advice, the only excuse he had, oh, this is so much different than pest control. This is so much different. No, it's not. Sales is sales. If you're coachable, if you listen, if you have that mindset of the eternal student, you will continue to grow and improve at every step. Meanwhile, if you think you're the best, that's the best you will ever be. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. The day that you stop being a student, the day you stop asking questions, that's when you say that you're complacent, you don't want to improve anymore. The game is so much bigger than any of us realize. You look at guys 10 steps ahead of you, 100, 3 million steps ahead of you. There's levels to this game. The second perpetrator that's killed so many rookies' careers is their weekends. Your weekends control the week. A lot of the times when I have reps who go out there partying every Saturday, they have really slow Mondays. And then Tuesday they use to kind of get back on their feet. And then they're back at 100% on Wednesday and they do it all again the week after that. Alex Hormozi talks about your weekends defining your week because when you drink, you're not just sacrificing the one night. You're also sacrificing the day after when you're hungover and you still can't get anything done. One of my top reps, he put up just under 70K his first month here. He was a killer. But in the last 30 days, he's made 8 sales. Genuinely, the only thing he's changed, there was some shifts with the team and he started hanging out with people who go out every single Saturday night. He is showing up to the meetings 1 minute early on Monday, disappearing for 2-3 days at a time on the weekends, and his numbers have reflected it. A lot of us try to separate a work-life balance between weekends and weekdays, but the fact of the matter is your weekends control your week. If you are studying on Sunday, if you're coming to the trainings, going to church, or just going to bed on time, if you're able to keep your sleep schedule, then Monday is not a bounce back day. It's not a oh, I need to get my shit together day. It's a day that you can go in and keep on killing and keep on performing. When I sold pest control, I was a huge victim of this. I never really partied too much when I was younger. And so going out to college bars in Louisiana, it was my little freedom experience. And it affected my numbers bad. My first week, I put up nearly $16,000. My second week, I only put up 9. And it wasn't because one market or one hood was better. And it wasn't because my sales skills got worse. As a matter of fact, the only day that was really that bad was Monday. And it was because I was out all night on Saturday, out all night on Sunday, and Monday I was sleeping through the meeting, sleeping in the car ride, half-assing my pitch, and my energy was not there. And so the second half of the summer, I started knocking Sundays. Not because I needed more time on the doors, not because I necessarily needed more reps, but simply because I knew, one, if I sit at home all day and just scroll on TikTok, my energy is going to be low on Monday. And 2, I understood the laws of momentum. If I keep myself moving, if I keep myself training, if I keep myself getting 1% better every day and not letting my Saturdays set me back, I will improve faster than the guy who spends 2 weeks getting drunk and fucking around and then a third day trying to catch up. I will grow nearly twice as fast as that person, and that's why I am where I am today. Meanwhile, on the total opposite end of the spectrum, one of my reps who came up, he only put up one deal in his entire first week, really struggled. And that's because he was staying with the same group of people who were out partying every night. And when he came to me and requested change housing and moved into the house that I stay at with my team, with my kind of top guys, he has gone crazy. He's messaging me every Saturday night, every Sunday, can we train? Can we train? Can we train? And his numbers, he's put up 40K in the last 10 days, as opposed to one deal in the entire week. Hanging out with people who sleep in, show up to the meeting late, as opposed to being the first one there, getting there before me sometimes, being ready to train. He's the first guy to ask questions. He's the first guy to beg for help. He's the first guy to do anything when it comes to improving himself, and that includes improving his environment, because he understands, hey, if I hang out with Dekker, my ceiling is a lot higher than if I hang out with rookies. Work-life balance is a joke. You can either have your 5-on-2 off now, or you can work your ass off for 10 years, retire at 28, and still laugh at everyone working their ass off because they're funny as shit. The third mistake is letting your families drag you down. And this one's probably the hardest. It's probably the one that I see the most, especially when we work with so many young men, college-age men who realize, hey, the W-2 route is not for me. I want to go all in on myself and I want to build the empire. We're not here to be a cog in a machine. We're here to build the fucking machine. When I dropped out of college and went on to start my first business, my family was pissed. But I'm a big believer the number one value that you get from the public school system is not necessarily the stuff you're studying, but it's how to study. It's how to learn. And so when I was able to learn those concepts, I had faith that I could also learn the concepts not taught in school, such as sales, marketing, fulfillment, and anything and everything else that you need to run a successful business and make money in sales. What we are doing is not normal. I don't want a normal life. I'm not going to take the normal path. I want an exceptional life. To be exceptional, you have to be the exception. And there's going to be a lot of people who just don't understand it. But at the end of the day, when somebody tells you that you're living your life wrong, all they're really saying is they do not wish to live their life the way that I wish to live my life. And that's okay. I dropped out. Yes, it's been rough. Yes, there's been some stuff come up. But if you look at me now as opposed to 3 years ago, or even me now as opposed to me as if I was still in college, I can guarantee you I am a million times ahead of where I was. Sales doesn't require a degree. That's why there's so many shitty sales reps.
Yeah, so I mean, with that being said, sorry.
But at the same time, there's going to be those top performers who go in and kill it without the degree because the training is up to you. It's not as structured. You have to ask for it. Like we talked about, my top reps, they come to me on Saturday, Sunday. Hey, train me. Can we go over this? Can you help me with this? How do you get past this objection? My bottom reps, they're off jerking off. When you're on the doors, your energy is everything. I'll tell you, when I was selling my rookie summer in pest control, my fiance was back home spending every penny that I made and life was good. But I had one relatively rough week, which affected her shopping spree. And we kind of got into it a little bit. It's not all about money. It was honestly more distance than anything, all jokes aside. But that will happen being across the country from your family. And when things started getting rocky with us, it got more negative. Then she talked negative, I talked negative. If I talked negative, my mental state was negative, which affected me when I was on the doors. It got to a point where I had to tell her, if it's not sunshine and rainbows, don't tell me about it. I want to hear about everything good, but shelter me from literally anything else going on in the world. When I'm on the doors, I need to be happy. I need to be positive. And I had to set that boundary, and it was fucking hard. But now she is the most loyal. She understands the system and she's reaping the benefits from it as much as I am. And so it's all about setting expectations, talking to that person and setting your boundaries. I'll go a step deeper into that. They're not going to respect your boundaries if you don't respect your boundaries. I had a sales rep recently who had a lot of skill, but he wasn't putting the hours in because he kept getting distracted. He kept on talking to his girl back home. And so I told him, hey, just tell her to keep it positive. Otherwise, you don't talk to her between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. He was like, oh, that's a good idea. So he told her that, but his numbers never went up. Actually, they went down a little bit. Did you not set that boundary with her? What's going on? He was like, no, I did, but she keeps texting me. If I say don't text me between 12 and 8, you message me at 2 and I just answer, why would they believe me? I don't believe me either. If I tell you I won't be on my phone at 2, you text me at 2 and I answer, I'm setting the preface that I'm full of shit. And so the moral of the story is just don't let your family, don't let your social circle, don't let other people drag you down. What you want in your life, if you want an exceptional life, you have to be the exception. But the fourth habit that kills rookie sales reps, is women. This is a lot of our first chance of freedom, like we talked about. I went out and I was never really away from home. I was never really super independent. And so this was a chance for me to kind of discover myself as a man, right? Here's the problem. With that freedom comes more responsibility, dedication, and discipline needed. I have one rep who genuinely just disappears on the weekends, and he just goes off with whoever the hell he meets on Tinder, and he thinks that he's the man, which is like, I understand you're immature, you're still at that age, cool, whatever, do your thing. However, his sales suck. And I genuinely believe, like, I swear off sex when I'm on the doors like 80% of the time, because I can put that sex drive into work. I can put it into the doors. And a lot of the times people don't understand that. A man who's complacent will never work as hard as the man who is hungry. My boss, Dylan Buck, back when I was selling insurance, talked about a 2 out of 3 day, which is you had to hit 2 out of the 3 KPIs. And he said, hey, Courtney, his wife, if I don't hit this goal, if I don't hit 2 of these 3 benchmarks, don't make me dinner. Because at the end of the day, we're animals. And if we know, hey, house is paid for, food's paid for, roof is over my head, I've got this, I've got that, you get complacent. If you're hungry, and you know, hey, I can only eat if I get 6 demos today. I can only eat if I knock at least 8 hours today. I can only eat if I close at least 3 deals today. It sets up that survival instinct. And so I heavily incentivize all of y'all to really just focus on this in the summer, because when you are complacent, when you're satiated, you will not be as hungry as the man who's going without sex, the man who's going without food, the man who's going without whatever it is, without money. Broke people work so fucking hard in this job, and I love it. I get to watch people go from making $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year just like that, and it's beautiful. But people keep fucking it up, and the 5th reason that they do that is their phones. At the end of the day, we are surrounded by technology. We are surrounded by distractions at all times. Phones are the biggest advantage to people with discipline. They're the biggest disadvantage to people who don't have discipline. There's a reason one of my partners out in California, he buys iPads for every single one of his reps. And I used to give him crap for it. I was like, dude, you're spending so much money on people who are not making you a whole lot. I think they look salesy. I don't personally use an iPad. But I was on the phone with him last week, and he explained to me, hey, if they're on an iPad, they can't get on their phone. When they're working on an iPad, they have no excuse to open iMessages, to open TikTok or Instagram. If you give them an iPad that only has field routes or pest routes or whatever your CRM is, you're eliminating all the other distractions. I had a rep come in pretty recently. He did a little over 100K in pest control, so not crazy, but a little bit above average for a rookie. And honestly, his skill was pretty solid. He had a rough start, but his skill was there. The reason he couldn't sell is because of his time on the doors. The number of deals per pitch, above average. The number of pitches per knock, about average. So why is he performing so shit? Because he's not knocking enough doors. And he would just be on the phone, on Discord calls, talking to his girl, talking with God knows who throughout the day, just walking in circles around the neighborhood with his earbuds in for 3 hours out of his 8-hour day. So obviously, the man who works 8 hours is going to learn faster than the man who works for 4 hours. If you don't have the discipline to knock with your phone, don't knock with your phone. Get an iPad. Don't bring your phone with you. Don't iCloud your messages. Put screen time on everything. Don't set yourself up to fail. But the 6th reason that rookies will fail in this career is they just don't give it enough time. A lot of people go in and they're like, oh, I'll make 1 sale today, 2 sales tomorrow, 3, 4, 5, and in 100 days, I'll be closing 100 deals per day. But that's not how improvement works in this industry. In this industry, it's eating shit, getting told no, it's rejection, and then something clicks and you spike up. And so my job as a sales manager is to figure out what that snap is, what that improvement is, and get you to it as early as possible. My top rookie, my first year, he bageled his first 9 days in a row. 9 days, a full 8-hour days of knocking on doors, being told no, being told to fuck off, basically just getting shit on by everybody he talked to. But he kept on working, sent me 83 voice memos over the course of those 9 days. And on his 10th day, he popped 5 deals, which is not bad at all. A lot of people come in their first day and they're worried about closing. They're worried about their rebuttals. They're worried about objections. Your first day, I don't care if you even make it to the close. All I give a shit is if you can say the intro correctly. Then day 2, learn about the service. Can you get through the service confidently and keep yourself as a human and not a cog in the big machine? And then day 3, we'll work on your close, and you might get your first deal day 3, potentially. It's like 50-50. And then on day 4, we teach you about rebuttals. We teach you about racking. We teach you all of those things. And that's when people pop off. The seventh reason so many rookies fail is because they don't know how to take accountability. I'm an extremist on this, and it's a belief that has benefited me a lot. I believe anything and everything that's ever happened in my life is my fault in one way or the other. If I don't make a sale, it's something I'm doing. If I have a sales rep quit or leave, it's something I did or normally didn't do. Let's be honest. If I have a sales rep who didn't succeed, it's probably something I did. People love to give themselves the excuse. People love to give themselves an out. But at the end of the day, it's on you. I've had reps come in and say, oh, I can't make sales because I'm black. I'll tell you 2 stories. One of my first rookies I ever hired, he was one of my friends, KJ, who went and knocked for Kirby with sagging pants, a shiesty mask, and the worst black scent I've ever heard.
Man, you over here, boy. Nah, Swiss cheese, y'all dumb boy.
So obviously, people weren't going to give them their credit cards. However, Chev, he was dark as hell, but he talked like a civilized human and not a YN. He presented himself well, not like a YN. And at the end of the day, he closed just under 200K last summer. I've had another rep recently, for some, whatever the hell is wrong with his ego, loves to talk in a super deep voice just like this. Maybe he got bullied in the 4th grade. Who really gives a shit? We were joking with him that he would sell better doing like a gay accent and like talking like this on the Dorza. And he's doing that today and he's already popped fucking 2. It blows my mind because it feels so stupid. And you love to give yourself the out, oh no, this is just how I actually talk. I don't care if it's how you talk. When I first started sales, I sounded like every redneck stereotype you can ever imagine. If I'm talking to wealthy people, business owners selling B2B, I probably need to sound like someone they would respect. People care too much about being their most authentic self. I will change everything about myself for 14 minutes at a time at a door. If you have a Trump flag, bet, bro, I'm Jewish. If you have a pride flag, bet, I'm Jewish, but also retarded. You can take accountability. You can change literally everything about yourself, and it doesn't matter. So quit worrying about being your most authentic self. Quit worrying about feeling comfortable. Quit worrying about what excuses you can make. I don't want to hire the rep with the best excuse. I want to hire the guy who puts up the most numbers. And so a lot of people come up here and they're not willing to let their ego take a hit. And so obviously it's not a skill issue. It's the market. It's the neighborhood. It's because I'm black. It's because I'm gay. And it's easier for our ego to make up these excuses, and they sound real. They feel real because society says that everyone should love everybody. Rich don't love everybody. Successful salespeople are willing to set their ego aside and say, hey, I suck. You leader, trainer, manager, whoever the hell you are better than me. Teach me. And the 8th habit that kills rookies is just being another cog in the machine. I see way too many rookies go to these big companies like EcoShit, Aptiv, Greenham, and they go in and they're just another guy. They're not going to be a leader. They're sold this fake dream of branch equity or L-tip, which isn't even a real thing, and they fall for it. 2/3 of the way through the summer, they realize that they got sold. Because managers are salespeople too. That's what no one wants to tell anybody. Managers are salespeople too, and you got sold. So did I. A lot of us did. And when you're in the wrong vehicle, you don't have that drive. You don't have that determination. I've had several reps come in. They were sub 100K reps selling pest, come out here and put up 100K months. And I got a comment on Instagram that I really liked. It was someone said, the grass is greener where you water it. Obviously, I'm a manager, so I'm a salesperson. I'm going to twist that and say, hey, look, this industry is so much better. But that's true. When they were in pest control, they were a cog in some big machine. They didn't give a shit about their job. They didn't have the best habits. They didn't put the work in. And so their numbers were subpar. They came out here, the grass is greener because they watered it. They put into it because they understood, hey, I can have my name on the door. I can have actual branch equity and not just like, oh, my downline sells for this office. It's actually like my name is on the door. They understood the vision as we continued to grow. And so if you're a rookie looking to start, or maybe you just started your summer and you're just another cog in the machine at some big old company and you just keep on making money for your upline, then I genuinely feel sorry for you. If you want to come work at a small startup that's growing rapidly, where there's a real equity potential on the table, shoot me a text, 817-600-0337. You can apply. You can see if you'd be a good fit to come join the team out here at DN. Outside of that, follow if you learn something, comment, fuck the Jews, and till next time.